Okay, hi YouTube. I'm just going to do a quick video to show you all the things you can do with Nvidia Shield. Now, a lot of people said when this device was released that it was a very lackluster piece of kit and that there was no real market for it. Well, in a sense I agree, because it's not really actually providing anything that you can't get already. You know, controller on an Android device, you can get that, you know, with the Bluetooth controllers, you know, a nice 720p screen, you can get that on plenty of other phones, you know. It's got the, you know, Android games which you can play on other platforms and all this kind of thing. And it is kind of true that there's not really a lot Nvidia Shield can do that other devices can't. But the fact that you get so many of the best things of Android all in one device lets it become, you know, I think, to be honest, one of the best devices I've ever seen or used, really. I think it's incredibly useful as well as cool. So, I mean, the first thing is things like emails, you know. You can check your emails on this thing, you can browse the internet, you can do, you know, go on the Play Store, you can do all these sorts of standard things that you'd expect from an Android device, and they're just as good as they are on any other high-end Android phone. You know, don't forget you're getting the best specs you can possibly get at the minute, you know, Tegra 4, 2 gigs of RAM, you know, top of the market specs, as well as the second latest version of Android. You're getting 4.3 with an update to 4.4 coming soon. Okay, so the first other thing I use it for is movies. I mean, if you've ever heard of Archos video player, I think that's a really good video player. You know, shows you all your movies in a nice sort of clean interface and downloads the covers for you. And there's, you know, with 64 gigs of external memory, which you can have via an SD card, it's a great companion for movies. And the fact that you've got this nice hinge here, you know, lets you angle it however you want. And it's perfect for watching movies. I mean, 5-inch screen is not exactly massive, but it definitely does the job quite nicely. It's very crisp, very clear, and nice vibrant colours. On top of that, you get really good speakers which help to immerse you in the experience, and they're great for listening to music too, which brings me on to the next thing. You know, you can just go on YouTube, search any song you want, and listen to it. You know, the high quality speakers really do make that a great experience. Okay, the next thing, which is really good, obviously, are the Android games. Now, this is where it starts to go above and beyond phones, basically. I mean, playing things like, you know, Sonic Episode 2, I mean, you can really see what this thing's capable of. I mean, this is actually an upgraded version of a console game. It's running at 60 frames per second instead of 30 on there. So that shows you what this thing's really capable of. When you see it in motion, you'll be amazed. Yeah, well, I'm going backwards, but you get the idea. It's really impressive. I mean, although there are a fairly limited number of Android titles that support remote controllers like this, the ones that do, I'd say you get a really, really good experience. I mean, although, you know, there's a lot of games that run on sort of free-to-play models, in-app purchases, which hardcore gamers tend not to like, there's also a lot of gems on here which I think are worth buying this machine for. On top of that, we have quite an interesting feature here called Nvidia Grid. Now, because I'm in the UK, it doesn't work so well at the minute, but I've heard from people in San Francisco that this feature actually works really well over there, because that's where the servers are located. And they may decide to branch out and start putting them all over the place if Shield begins to do well, which at the minute I don't think it is, but not the point. I think Nvidia are kind of experimenting with Shield, and they're trying to see what the possibilities of cloud gaming are. Now, if Nvidia Grid really does pick up, what that'll mean is you'll be able to take Shield anywhere in the world and play the latest PC games right on it at sort of full PC quality, which is something that, you know, hardcore PC gamers will be salivating over. On top of that, we have the Shield store, which has got lots of sort of Shield optimized games. Now, these aren't the only games that work on Shield. These are sort of ones which, you know, Nvidia's tried, tested, and made sure that they work perfectly on Shield. There are still a lot of very good games which work on Shield that aren't on here. On top of that, there's the brand new gamepad mapper, which lets you map controls for even non-Shield games. So things like Angry Birds, you can play with a controller. All you need to do is just hold down the start button here in the game, and then just drag and drop where you want the controls to be, and map them to something on this control pad. The next thing, right, is PC games. PC games work really well on here. You can obviously play games on your Steam account on your PC, which is one of the main selling points of this thing. And I mean, to be honest, personally I've been having a slight issue with getting audio to work while I'm doing that, but that should be fixed in the next update. And the fact that we can now stream at 60 frames per second with very little sort of compression it's really astonishing, and you kind of have to see it to believe it. The Nvidia Shield playing PC games is really, I think it's something quite revolutionary. Then on top of that, you can actually take it a step further and plug your Shield into your TV downstairs and play your PC games on your TV. So it's adding sort of another layer of benefits with that. On top of that, there's another really crucial element that makes Shield stand out, and that's the emulators. I mean, if you look here, I've got 5 emulators on there: Nintendo 64, PSP, Nintendo DS, Game Boy Advance, and PlayStation 1. Now, not only are you getting all these classic things, you're getting to relive these classic experiences, but now they're even better than they were before. I mean, like this FPSE PlayStation 1 emulator, you can actually play games in the full native resolution of Shield, and they look great. I mean, you really have to see it to believe it, but I mean, for example, Rayman here, I mean, it's going to take a while to load up, but it looks very, very sharp. Hopefully you can see that. It looks better than it did on the original PlayStation, and the ability to take games like this with you wherever you go is really, it's something quite massive. Now, although you can get this on other Android phones and things, the fact that you have a controller here makes the gameplay so much more accessible and fun. I mean, no hardcore gamer really wants to actually play on a phone using touch controls. It's just not the done thing.
Dark place, teeming with fierce monsters. Nothing can stop them now that they've captured you. They've taken everything and reduced our people to slaves.
So yeah, this is it, playing Rayman on the Shield. And as you can see, it works great. It looks really, really nice. And it's even better than the original experience on the PlayStation. So if you've got any old games that you really want to relive, the Shield is probably the best place to do it. You know, you get Game Boy Advance, you can play Advance Wars on the go, you can play all your Pokemon games on the DS, you can play God of War on the PSP. You know, you've got everything here. It really is. I think the Shield is a highly underestimated device. It's got a really, really nice screen. It's got the latest software, the best components, great speakers, and it's just got a whole massive load of features which people are underestimating. So, I mean, that's my sort of, that's the basis of my video, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Rate, subscribe, comment, like, and check out my other videos.